in fact, live.
Mm, 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 mm.
Of course, like my YouTube just like looks weird on me. Okay, we are live. Yes, I see it. We are live. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another 241 Joe Live. It is Monday, June 27th, 9:04 a.m. And we're here. Donovan's not here today. He's got some things he has to take care of, but we're going to run the show anyway. So we've got Joel is back. He's been busy.
What up? What up? I'm back, baby, just like Bender.
Which you were out 2 or 3,
It was 3 weeks, man. I
about
had,
3 weeks.
yeah, my kid just had a lot of medical issues and stuff that we had to get taken care of. So, I mean, is what it is.
Yep. Well, glad.
Parenthood.
Yes. I know. I know so much. No, I've been moving and taking care of kids
Hmm.
as well. So lots going on. But we do have a guest today.
Yes, we do.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
What up?
I'm Elisa. I'm from Agents of Mace, along with Luke.
Yes. We wanted to
We
get
are
Drew on
so
as
excited to have
well.
you here.
Initially, Drew was on board to join, but last minute he had something he had to take care of. But hopefully he can
No,
join next week.
we don't need Drew. I mean, we have. This is awesome. Are you kidding me? This is a cool new perspective. Sorry, Drew. Not sorry.
Awesome. So we're gonna kick things off with the box office, and then we've got lots of news to cover.
Hmm.
Because there's been a lot of stuff going on. But let's kick it off with the box office. So the top three, we've got Top Gun Maverick, thirty point
Yes, we
five
do.
million total box office. It has hit $1 billion.
This movie, man. I'm just.
This is just
It can't be.
crazy.
No, it's a fun movie.
Yeah,
I love it, and I'm like, if you're gonna do an '80s remake, this is how you do an '80s
yeah.
remake. But I'm just kind of like, what is there just not choices? Were we all watching it? Is it this good? I dig it. I'm
It
totally
is
for
that
it.
good.
It is that good. I love it.
I
Yeah.
love it. Did you see it, Elisa?
I did. I saw it
Heck
a
yeah, you
couple of
did.
weeks ago, and I had never seen the first movie until the night
Hmm.
before we went to go see this.
I did
And
the same thing.
I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I thought it was much better than the original.
Oh yeah,
It
yeah.
really was.
I I don't know why I love 80s films, but this is one of those that I just kind of never watched growing up. This is always like on the bucket list. So Jackie and I watched it like a few weeks before this came out, and it was just like, oh, wow, this is so heavy 80s.
Yeah. Why haven't I
Yeah,
watched this? Right.
yeah, I was like, I can see like if I did watch this, at a younger age, when I was getting into all the '80s culture and
Hmm.
'80s films, like I probably would have viewed it a little bit differently than now. But Maverick, man, Maverick's so
Yes.
good. So,
Did
uh,
I ever tell you my theory about the '80s and why the '80s turned out the way they did?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you'll appreciate this. So I really think that Raiders of the Lost Ark really
Hmm.
isn't a movie, but actually a documentary, right? And what actually happened is when they unveiled the Ark of the Covenant, that's not the power of God coming out. That's actually all the special effects of the glories of the '80s that just erupted into it and actually gave us the '80s.
Maybe so.
Yeah, and
Maybe.
actually it was actually Rick Astley that
Yeah.
popped up and
Uh,
Never Give You Up, and that's made his head explode.
oh my gosh. I remember when that music video came out. Anyway,
Right?
so next up we have Elvis,
Hmm.
30.5 million as well. Total box office is at 50 million. Have not seen Elvis. I did.
No.
I've been on the kind of fence if I want to see
You
this or
saw
not. Hmm.
I
it? She
saw
saw
it.
it.
You saw it. What'd you think?
Well, okay. I did completely and utterly love this movie, but I think
Hmm.
that I was uh, first of all, I'm Baz Luhrmann trash. I have been since I was born. It doesn't matter if his movies are all just like the hottest of hot messes. I love them so much. My most favorite being Strictly Ballroom. That is not
Mm.
relevant, but I just wanted to throw that out there. If you haven't seen Strictly Ballroom, go watch it right now. Um, but also, I'm a huge Elvis fan, and
Hmm.
come by it honest, my granny Faye was one of those teenagers sneaking off to see him on the Louisiana hayride, and brought up my
Nice.
mama in the way, and so just kind of, I guess, being just a little bit, sorry, like white trash, it just spoke to me, and I loved it so much.
Wow.
Are you
It
from
was,
South
it's weird.
Arkansas also?
I am from Central Arkansas.
You're from Central Arkansas. Well, me and
Yeah.
Luke are actually from the same hometown. So
Yep.
you say like Louisiana hayride, and we're like, yeah, we know about that.
Yep.
Yeah, the movie has one of the very earliest scenes is in Texarkana.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
total side story once again. Luke, do you remember a gentleman named by George Fraser in Hope?
Possibly.
Yeah, so he was basically the spokesperson for Hope for
Mhm.
the 50s, 60s, and all that. Did news channel and stuff. I know I'm going on a side tirade, but he actually interviewed a young Elvis
Mm.
on his way to Texarkana on the train that stopped in Hope.
Ah.
And as he interviewed him and talked to him, he told the story all the time where he said, I told the young man afterwards, I said, you really need to think about some other option of a career. You're a good looking kid. You should sell insurance.
That's funny.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if like within Hope, like at the train depot historical site,
Mhm.
there could be something Elvis related there.
There's a picture of him. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, makes sense. No, and that I never grew up really. No, I don't think anyone in my family was big on Elvis or anything like that. That's why I
Yeah.
don't have that kind of any kind of emotional attachment to it or nostalgia. So like,
Mm.
it's low on my list, but I'll try to check it out this week if I have time.
Yeah, if for
And
no other reason. I mean, again, Boz Lerman just sparkles
yeah,
everywhere. But
sure, yeah.
the
Yeah.
young man who plays Elvis, it's unreal. He's so
Oh,
good.
but
That's why I
yeah,
want to
I've
see
watched
it.
some of his
I
interviews
really
and
heard that.
yeah. And then last up we had Jurassic World Dominion at 26.4 million. Box office is at 746 million.
Yeah.
So it's pretty wild.
Yeah. Especially if you saw the movie.
Yeah, I did go see that one. Yeah, we may talk about that later, but no, I did go watch Lightyear. Took my kids to go see Lightyear, and then saw
Yeah.
The Black Phone.
Yes, I saw that too. That was so good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. That was a nice. I like.
Yeah, it was well done horror. Like even
Yeah.
the sound mixing, everything in it was just like this is a well done horror
Yes.
movie. Like, and it's not too gory. It's just
Mhm.
enough that you're like, whoa.
Yeah, had
And
one of
Ethan
those.
Hawke, man, that man can play a
I know.
creepy bad guy all he
Yeah.
wants.
Oh, I know because we talked so much about him in Moon Knight.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I need more Ethan Hawke. So we're gonna jump into some Star Wars
Heck,
first.
yeah, we are.
So is Mace Windu still alive? Hayden Christian and Ian McGregor have thoughts on the matter. Hayden, if Sam Jackson wants it to be true, I wouldn't want to disagree with that. No, I don't think so, he admitted. Is he? No. Anything is possible. It's not for me to say, really. I can't be cheating someone out of a sequel. No, I don't think so. I think he went out that last window, and it was a long way up. Question is, where could Mace Windu show up in the Star Wars timeline again, and will he?
So, yeah, I'll jump in first if y'all don't mind.
Go for it.
Y'all are in my forte now. All right. So, look, we're in a world where Darth Maul was cut in half, fell down a very, very long tube, and has robotic legs now, and is still alive. Spoilers, but at this point, if you don't know that, then you're not keeping up with Star Wars, all right?
Mhm.
It's like he is still in the game. He's still in the same thing. I truly believe that Mace Windu is probably still out there somewhere. You know, I think that's a great storyline to tell. But, you know, here's the thing. He is beaten. He is broken. He's lost a hand. Not that that's ever stopped anybody in Star Wars, but at the same
Mhm.
time, who knows what he's doing? He's probably, you know, hiding it out somewhere, or maybe he's actually running his own little one-man guerrilla war against the Empire in some remote region. Who knows?
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways you could tell that story, and I'm down with it. Hell yeah, I want to see some Mace Windu coming back.
I just think that what they said about if Samuel L. Jackson says he's alive, he is, and his
Yes.
place in the timeline is wherever Samuel L. Jackson wants it to be.
You are so right.
Yeah, pretty much. I would agree on those. Like that moment. I mean, I just remember that moment being sitting in the theaters watching it for the 1st
Mhm.
time and just like screaming no, like didn't want that to happen. But with everything that they've done in Star Wars, yeah,
Mhm.
you know, of course you got to factor in like age and like how like where I don't know like how far out do you put this in the timeline? But this team, I don't know. If this, like, for me, it's like if Jean Favreau wanted to tackle this story, like, I think he's the guy to do it, and he can pull the right team together and do something really cool. Um, but yeah, like the whole like Darth Maul thing, like I've been slowly
Mhm.
kind of catching up on like Clone Wars and watching that series with the kids, and
Oh man,
there's so much cool stories around that.
very cool.
Um,
Especially the ending of the Clone Wars. It just
yeah,
there's so much with them. I'm like,
yeah,
this is how the character should have been fleshed out. That's awesome.
yeah. So it's possible. It's at this point, I think it's possible, and very good chance we could see Mace Windu return for a limited series and just kind of conclude his story.
Sure.
Um, and this goes against like if Mace, if we eventually get a ghost Mace, right? Who knows? Who knows what they could do with there if they want to continue on
Hmm.
with Mace. So Obi-Wan Kenobi, have both of you finished it?
Yeah, man.
I was waiting till it was all the way over to start it, and I
Okay.
still haven't started it since it finished because
Oh,
it hasn't been a full week yet, has it?
no. It'll
No,
be a
not
full
yet.
week
Okay,
on
because
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
I thought that it
Wednesday.
had just gotten done, and I like had professional development all last week, and so I haven't had a chance to sit down and just binge all of it as is my plan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I watched every bit of it. I
Um,
am so happy with that.
well,
Oh Lord,
I don't want to prevent expectations. We can
spoilers. Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
skip
yeah.
this question if you want to kind of go in fresh.
You guys, y'all go ahead. Y'all aren't gonna bother me. I promise. Okay, I'm good.
Yeah, we're on the same thing. Where it's like, fine, whatever. We're gonna get it spoiled. Like, we'll catch up. We got our own
um,
opinions.
Overall, I did enjoy the series.
Yeah.
There are really incredible moments. For
Hmm.
me, there are some. It's more of like within the dialogue of certain things that happen where I question a lot of things and
Sure.
decisions made, and that's all I'm gonna say.
That's. I think that's fair. And but I think as long as you get me to that end point on a journey, that after I look back at the end point, I'm kind of like, I'm content with this. Yeah, I like where they're going with it. I see the decision they made. Would I have probably made a different decision? Yeah, but let's be honest. Just the introduction of I want to say it. I don't care. We know he's there. As like the introduction of Vader, and again, you're exemplifying a true Sith Lord's power is really terrifying, and they did it very well. I was like, that's how you sell that character.
Yeah,
And even as you progress in that story between him and Obi-Wan, there's that beauty of that dynamic still that's still there between the Padawan and his master. That
yeah,
it still plays out, and I enjoyed that very much. And then, of course, our final shot, we're like, and there it is.
yeah. Oh yeah. um, so definitely check it out. Podcast 241 has released their episode covering all 6 episodes, so you can listen to that on all major podcast services.
Oh,
So check it out if you've seen it. And if you're listening and if you've seen it, let us know in the comments below. We'd love to know your thoughts on
mhm,
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
definitely so.
We're
I
going
am
to
going to say one
switch.
more thing.
Go
I'm
for it.
sorry.
Yeah, no, go for it.
I thought as soon as they fleshed out the third sister story a little more,
Hmm.
I really enjoyed where she was going. I was kind of questioning about her at the very beginning, but once it
Yeah.
kind of got a little more fleshed out, I was like, I dig that. That's fun.
Yeah, I would agree there. I want to definitely rewatch this series because I feel like there was a moment I missed,
Hmm.
especially going from episode 5 to 6 with Third Sister.
Hmm.
So I went into episode 6 kind of scratching my head like, whoa, I think I missed something.
Yeah, it was a little confusing.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Granted, I had just moved and I was watching this on a very teeny tiny TV, like up high, and like, I probably missed a lot of details. So I'll rewatch this.
Yeah.
So we're gonna shift over to Marvel now. Let me scroll up so I can read this. So Kevin Feige on the culmination of Phase 4. As we're nearing the end of Phase 4, I think people will start to see where the next saga is going. I think there have been many clues already that are at least apparent to me of where this whole saga is going. But we'll be a little more direct about that in the coming months to set a plan so audiences who want to see the bigger picture can see a tiny, tiny, tiny bit more of the roadmap.
Hmm.
So I've heard this briefly before. Primarily, I think hinting that I think within at least the next film or the next two films, we should start getting a better idea of where things are going.
Hmm.
But any thoughts on where things are going just from what we've seen so far?
Aside from multiverse stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah,
not really.
yeah,
That's the only thing that I've seen is that they're clearly going to be having characters interact with characters from other multiverses, other universes, interacting with themselves probably from different realities, and I'm not sure what that is going to lead to. I don't know who the big bad is going to be.
Hmm.
No idea, but looking forward to it.
yeah,
I can agree with that entirely. I mean, I don't really know where they're heading at this point, and to be all honest, I don't care. I think they're still touching on Secret Wars, and eventually we're
yeah,
going to be heading that direction,
yeah.
which we've talked about that already. But
That's kind of
hey,
what
man, just keep
I'm
giving me
leaning as
content.
well. I think if there's any clue we could take away from this, it would basically be the mid credit scene from Multiverse of Madness. I think we're
Hmm.
leading to a point where we're going to see worlds collide, and that's going to lead to something pretty crazy happening. In terms
Yes.
of like a big bad villain, I think most people are going to expect it to be Kang the Conqueror. Um, we kind of have an idea that he's going to be coming up in Quantumania. I think part of the question though is that going to be the end of his story, or is this going to be something that we see drawn out even more? Um,
Based on his introduction in Loki, it
yeah,
seems like he would be a good
Hmm.
candidate
yeah,
for being a threat to multiple universes.
hmm,
Totally.
But we don't know yet. I mean,
yeah.
he could be fully defeated in Quantumania. We don't know.
Huh, we shall see.
We shall see.
And then they're going to give us a post-credit scene that makes like, ah, crap, we're going on again.
Yeah, um, I'm excited.
Hmm.
I'm cool if it's Kang. I'd also be really. It'd be cool if it'd be Doctor Doom.
Yeah, man. Where's
I'm just gonna
Doom?
throw
That's
that.
what I'm waiting
You
for.
know, since we've already gotten a small, very small visual of Fantastic Four in some form, that'd be pretty sweet.
Although that is exactly
Um,
what I always pick for Reed Richards. So I was like,
right,
bam, there's my Reed
and we
Richards.
may be talking about that a little bit more soon. We'll see as we go down
Yeah.
the news as well. But let us know in the comments below what are your thoughts on Phase Four plans. So head writer Jeremy Slater of Moon Knight talks about Ethan Hawke's character.
Hmm.
That's the way I wrote it on the page, he said, when asked if Harrow is dead. Again, because you don't actually see a body, no one's ever dead until you see the body. Do you
Oh
think
man.
that we'll see him come back for season two or beyond?
It's comic books, man. I mean,
Yeah, right?
even when you see a body, they come
Yeah,
back, all right? We knew Jason Todd was dead, all right?
yeah,
But we live in a world of Lazarus pits. Marvel's got stuff too. Yeah,
sure.
they can come back. It doesn't matter. Who cares? It
Yeah.
gives us really good storylines.
I think the
Oh,
bigger question is, does he need to come back? I mean,
That is a
yeah,
better question.
they've got
Yeah.
an antagonist in Jake Lockley, and
right.
Hmm.
I don't know if Ethan Hawke, as much as we love him, needs to be
Mm.
in the second season of Moon Knight or whatever future iteration there will be of Moon Knight. He could, but he
Yeah,
doesn't have to.
Definitely. And
that's a good point. I like that.
yeah, yeah, does it make sense? 100%. But as you said, like we the multiverse is here. We know it. We've seen how it
Yeah.
works. Like it's
We have a multiverse?
um, you know,
And there's a
some
multiverse out there where Arthur is just Ethan Hawke.
yeah,
And he's just hanging out.
Wow. Man. Now
there's
I'm
gonna
sitting there
yeah,
thinking about that. Thanks a
he's
lot.
gonna put instead of broken glass like broken eggshells in his shoes or something. I don't know. Mix it up. We walk on
Just a
That's
marbles.
baby
probably the
Arthur.
same Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
That's probably the
Um,
same Ethan Hawke that actually won an Oscar for Training Day. So,
yeah, no, that's a perfect point. Is does it make sense for this character to come back? I definitely think it's possible we could see. The question is will it be this version or a variant, or is it going to be in another universe? Who knows? But I do want to see more Moon Knight.
Hmm.
Jeremy Slater of Moon Knight also talks about scrapped old Cap and Dane Whitman cameos. What happens if we try to get Chris Evans back as old Captain America? You know, you sit there and play that what if game among your writers, he explains. The only two that we seriously discussed, Dane Whitman from Eternals, of course, because at the time, Stephen Grant was going to be working at the same museum, but there was never any logical reason for him to be in the show. As a Marvel fan, I would be frustrated if Dane showed up for another cameo and it didn't progress his story or give us any teasers for the Black Knight. 100%. I remember I did catch this headline last week. Would have been really cool. I think more so on building out Whitman's character leading into the Black Knight. But I agree here. Like, I only want to see it if it's going to progress that story, if it's going to lead into something more.
Yeah.
I'm very hopeful we'll see the Black Knight soon. Just the question is like how soon? Is it? Are we not going to see this character again until like the Blade film comes out, or could we potentially see this character earlier? In terms
Yeah,
of
that's
old Captain
true.
America, I don't know. Any thoughts on these two characters cameos?
I guess you can do old Captain America. I just don't know why you would at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Simply for the fact that you've kind of shown his story and you told it, and
Yeah,
you ended in a very good way. So I don't really see the point of actually kind of bringing him back or doing anything like that. Doesn't mean they're not going to do that. Whatever, they're writing the story, they're telling it, so
yeah.
let them go ahead and do it. That being said, as far as what was his name, Black Knight,
Yeah, Black Knight.
the
Yep.
Black Knight. Uh, I don't know enough about the character. I'll be honest with you, but they've mentioned him, and as Marvel has shown, anytime they mention something, it's not a throwaway. It's going to show back up at some point.
Yeah.
So sooner or later, who knows? It's going to be there though.
Mm. And I wouldn't want Cap back unless it was for something
Yeah.
that was special, that was
Mm-hmm.
worthy of bringing that character
Hmm.
back in.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, a throwaway cameo to me would feel silly. And
Yeah.
also, it doesn't
Hmm.
seem very likely because Chris Evans is a pretty busy guy.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and as for Dane Whitman, like you said, we don't really know that much about him in the MCU yet because he's only been kind of in Eternals, and he doesn't really get to do anything in the Eternals. He's just like, hey, since you've been gone off on your fun adventure, like some weird stuff about my family's come up, and he doesn't even get to talk about it. Like they released like a little Funko Pop of him from the movie, and it's the most nondescript Funko Pop I've ever seen. It's just like a dude in normal dude clothes, just being a guy, and so it also wouldn't feel like y'all were saying it wouldn't feel necessary unless he was there to expand on his own story, and that probably wouldn't fit that naturally into the narrative that we had for Moon Knight this season.
Yeah.
So he'll be back, but we
Hmm.
don't need him quite yet until they can do it right.
Sure. 100%. 100%. I totally agree on Captain America as well.
Yeah.
Bring a character like that back when it makes sense, and there's got to be like a mission, something that they need Captain America for.
Unless you did something like I can't remember if it was the original run of Days of Future Past, but it was some comic run
Mm.
with time travel
Mm-hmm.
there where they go into an alternate universe where Captain America wasn't frozen in World War II, but he was actually living his life as still a super soldier, and he's an old man in
Mm.
modern day, Bronx and Brooklyn,
Yeah.
and he's just, kind of like where did my country go and everything else,
Mm.
just kind of a portrayal of this character.
Oh, that'd be a
So
cool
it,
story.
it's it was kind of fascinating. You're like, yeah, if Cap had continued to live, this is probably what he would have turned into.
Yeah, that'd be a cool story.
Hmm.
All right. Marvel Studios returns to Hall H for San Diego Comic Con. First appearance
Heck yeah,
since
it does.
2019. So, what will be announced? Kevin says, yeah, we'll be at Comic Con next month, which we're excited
Hmm.
about. And when asked if we can expect some big news over the next few months, the first time since we were on stage there, since 3 years ago, talking about this movie and many others. And now I think almost everything we discussed 3 years ago has now been released. So, yes, we're excited to go and talk about the future. I I'm ready for Blade teaser. That's what I'm ready for,
That's
if
what you're hoping
anything.
for, is Blade, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm excited about Blade. Yeah, this is just these, you know, the original Blade trilogy is so special. It's like the big part of like teenage years for me, and
Well, of course it is.
I want to see this character done right. And definitely that's like top of the list is what they're gonna do, especially since I think they started filming that
Yeah.
recently, like a couple weeks ago.
Well, for what? For about 5 years, Blade was the best Marvel movie out.
Right? Yeah. So I guess any thoughts on what we may see?
Oh man, I don't know.
It's like
At
don't
this
really
point,
know,
I've
do
stopped
we?
speculating.
Yeah.
I would hope to see some Quantumania stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Yes. Definitely Quantum Mania.
And they just started season 2 of Loki, so they might
Hmm.
have some stuff for that.
That'd be cool.
But I don't know. I don't know.
Uh,
There's so many things coming out. It could just be like 20 different projects that they promote.
Right.
it could be. I
I
want to
would.
see some X Men. In all honesty, like
Of
some really
course.
good X Men starting to unite everything. But again, I think we're looking at Quantum Mania for that nonsense.
Yeah. We just don't know. We're hopeful.
Uh, Fingers crossed.
Yeah. No, this is what's killing Drew. Drew's like, I need my X-Men.
Give me Gambit or leave.
Yeah, right. I
And
definitely would expect we'll get the traditional, timeline grid with logos. Um,
Of course, we
I'm definitely
will.
going
I
to
mean,
expect we're going to see that maybe like untitled projects or something like that, just
yeah,
to get an idea of like, hey, we do have things we're working on. We just can't reveal them just yet, but this is what's in slate for like either 24, 25, etc.
yeah. Which I want my Into the Spider Verse, but that's with Sony and not
Yeah,
technically with Marvel. So I mean,
definitely.
yeah, I want that. So
Yeah, yeah. Which I think now we get that next year, unfortunately.
what? They bumped it.
Yeah, I think it's
they did,
that
but
one's bumped to 2023. Yeah.
I'll accept that though, as
Hey,
long as you do it right. I don't care.
as long as they're
Oh,
taking
yeah.
their yeah, they're
And
taking their time.
Phil Lord, Chris Miller, they do it right. You got to
Yeah,
give them that.
Hmm. Yeah, that
definitely.
my kid is mixed, so I've been trying to get him into comics and this type of stuff and all that. So he never connected with any of them until finally we sat down and we watched Into the Spider Verse, and all of a sudden he was like, "What? This is a?" I was like, "Yes, this is what I was trying to show you."
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So let us know in the comments what would you be excited to see announced at Comic Con. We'll definitely be chatting about it here at 241 and at Agents of Mace. So
Clark's free.
first, first reactions are in for Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah,
Um, I'm actually I have a link here, so let's see. Kind of want to look, and I kind of don't want to look.
don't look.
Um,
Don't do that to yourself.
We
I
trust
know.
Taka. We trust Taka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of, I'll just read a couple of the top headlines. Another classic Thor adventure. Everything I wanted it to be: big, colorful, weird, Guns N' Roses. Essentially what we've already seen.
We wanted
In
Guns
the
N' Roses. Okay.
right. Oh my gosh, this website's kind of freaking out on me. You know, I, initially
What it
I
is.
know first reactions are out. I do everything I can to avoid these, which
Yeah.
I have seen it split from a lot of the core people I follow. It's kind of been it hasn't hit in my timeline, but I haven't spent a lot of time on Twitter, and that's usually where I see things. But what I have seen is people have seen it split down the middle evenly, and take that as is. I just kind of want to try to go in the best I can with with fresh eyes and just enjoy the experience. Because this is
Hmm.
not this weekend, but next weekend.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's coming up quick,
This weekend's
finally.
yeah. I mean, this weekend's going to be Stranger Things, so there we go.
Oh, that's
Oh, that's
right. Yeah,
right.
I'm still
Yeah, you
working.
got snuck up on y'all.
Yep, still trying to wrap up part one of season 4. So hopefully we can get that done this week. Let's go into some Doctor Strange 3. So this is
Hmm.
Benedict Cumberbatch on Doctor Strange 3. I hope so. I would love to do another one. The British actor confirmed. Doctor Strange is such a complex character, and it feels like there is so much more to explore with him. He is such a brilliant character, and I'm still having a wild time playing with him. Um, okay, like I would expect we're gonna see a lot more. I don't necessarily see any reason why they wouldn't do another Doctor Strange, especially with the mid credit scene and what that's setting up.
Hmm.
Um,
Maybe people were just thinking, since it was such a huge gap between the first solo Doctor Strange and
yeah,
this one, that there might not be immediate plans for a third solo Strange, and that the rest of it would be like team ups, him being in somebody else's movie like he was in
hmm,
the
Hmm.
Spider-Man movie. Um, but yeah, we do need to see where his story specifically is going next. So I would like to see a third one as well.
definitely.
Totally, we got to have that.
I rewatched Thor Ragnarok the other day
Hmm.
and completely forgot that Doctor Strange is in that. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's
he's
moments
totally
with
there.
Strange that he's connecting with Thor, and I think I was more intrigued by the the Doctor Strange outfit they had because in that one he had the gloves on, like the yellow
Hmm.
gloves. It's just funny that like we haven't seen that look again. Um,
They give you a little taste, then move on. That's what they
right?
do.
Yeah, yeah. I would agree. I think I enjoy Doctor Strange. I want to see more for his story and see some kind of potentially a conclusion or see where it's going to lead to. But yeah, definitely
Hmm.
don't give us like another 6, 7 plus years before we get it. But
The way I kind of see the whole entire Marvel universe now, even though some people may not get theirs own movie at the
yeah,
moment or the own movie is later on, everything is so connected. I don't even care. Like, what I
yeah,
want more of? I want more Daredevil. When are we going to get more Daredevil? He popped up now in the movies, so I'm like, aha, he's
yeah,
coming. And it's still Charlie Cox, but you better not cast anybody else. That man punches and kicks like a champ.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I'm about the same, but at the same time, like, just I want more now.
Of course, we want it now. We're living in the modern era. It's like
Sure,
trying
yeah,
to explain to my kid about commercials in an age of
yeah,
streaming is insane.
yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. My kids are like little, but they're like, "Hey, is that a commercial?" Like, yes, that's a commercial.
I like explaining to my teenage students that we used to have a monthly limit for text messages, and it was like
Yes.
30
Right?
texts. And they're like, what? I go through that in like 2 minutes. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I know
You
you
just
do.
you
It's
just blew their
scary.
minds. Yeah.
Oh yeah. First cell
You freaked them
phone,
out.
like I had to essentially pay for those text messages, and I only
Yeah,
had a
because they were
limit.
expensive.
They were expensive. um, Switching over to some Deadpool 3. So Deadpool 3 writers on potential plot. It's a wonderful opportunity for fish out of the water, said Reese. Deadpool is a lunatic at the center of the movie. To drop a lunatic into a very sane world, it's straight butter. It's going to be really fun. So, where would we like to see Deadpool pop up next? Or
Oh,
what characters from the MCU do we want to see in Deadpool 3?
who wants to jump on this first?
I mean, look, I feel like this is give us what we want. We want to see Deadpool and Wolverine. We want to see these two characters together. Beyond that, I would really love to see Deadpool with Spider-Man. I think that
Hmm.
would be really fun. I guess the question is are we going to see Deadpool with Holland Spider-Man, or is we going to have to see him with, you know, a new Spider-Man, or could it be Toby? Could it be Andrew? I don't know. I would just love to see Deadpool Spider-Man.
Yeah. So there was a theory and a fan thing going around for a while that once after uh, Stan Lee passed, rest in peace, champion, but they wanted, instead of putting Stan Lee in every single movie for that cameo,
Mm-hmm.
that it would be Deadpool instead.
Mm-hmm.
Which I was kind of like, it's like, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I always thought they should do is like let him start cameoing all these random little scenes in every single movie,
Mm-hmm.
then give him a TV show, and like that just kind of makes it even better. But it's
Yeah.
like the whole point is always keep him true to the character, where he's the only character that then he knows he's a comic book character inside a comic book, which is inside a TV universe. So I mean,
Right. Watch them do something funny where like they reveal this segment and like in every like MCU movie, he's been there the whole time, but he's like in the backdrop in like some little coffee shop or
oh
something.
my
Like,
god.
wouldn't that be insane?
They should hire you. That's good writing.
um,
It's hard to think of a character that would seem like such a weird fit for Deadpool, but that's what I would want to see. Where it doesn't seem like they should be in the same universe.
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
maybe Deadpool and Doctor Strange would be a good one. Especially since we've seen Strange get sassy sometimes, so it might be
Yeah.
Oh
fun to
yeah,
have an
yeah.
exchange between them. But
Doctor
that's
Sexy
what
Strange.
I want to
Yeah.
see. It's something totally off the wall that makes no sense.
Because it would just frustrate him entirely, which I think would be hilarious.
yeah, yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know enough
Who
of
would I
like
want
the
to see?
Deadpool comics to know like who a
Oh
next
man.
big villain would be for Deadpool. Like who would he battle?
He never really has a battle. I mean, the
Yeah,
best thing about Deadpool comics is he battles himself more than
sure.
anything
Yeah.
else. And it's really kind of fascinating because you get some really brilliant writing out of it. I mean, one of my favorite runs of Deadpool was Deadpool and Cable,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Once in the comics, when Cable becomes the savior and everything else, and everybody's so excited with him, he has this moment where he's sitting here in a big fight with Cable, and he goes, "What? What do you want from me? What am I sitting there doing this? That thing about the Go-Gurts? What is like?" And he says these random comments, and all of a
Mhm.
sudden, Cable goes, "Go-Gurts? That's not important right now." But it's like, "But what do you want from me?" He goes, "I'm just trying to figure out why do you think you have to kill people?" It's like, "Do you do it because like you're keeping count of everybody, or have you lost count?" So
Mm.
then it goes to him. Here's Deadpool sitting by himself, and he just like has a beer in his hand. And he's just going, "I'm going to be honest. I've lost count so long ago that I just don't care anymore, and I don't
Yeah.
know how to fix it." And it's like, oh my god, you actually gave this character the serious inner dialogue
Mm.
that's incredible. Because I'm like, he's haunted by his own
Sure.
being. That's what's
Sure.
amazing about it.
I could see Ryan
He
Reynolds
can't
being
die.
about exploring that.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Wait, you mean Ryan Reynolds isn't the character? I thought Deadpool was just playing Ryan Reynolds.
Right.
At this point, who's to say?
100%. Yeah. Maybe we're just gonna have to wait until we get like World War Hulk, and then
Oh,
eventually by then Wolverine will
forgot
be,
about that.
and then he'll just pop up and be like, really, really, you'll give Hulk and Wolverine a film, but not what? Like, come on.
Which would be fun.
Yeah. Definitely. Let us know in the comments. Where do you want to see Deadpool show up in the MCU? Because
Yeah.
he could he may have always been here. And we just never knew it.
Oh, he's always there.
um, I'm probably gonna butcher this first name. Timora. Is it Timora Morrison?
Tamora, yeah.
Tamora Morrison on Obi-Wan Kenobi cameo. That was the best part of the whole Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Morrison tells total film. I'm joking. I really enjoyed that. Playing around in their storyline, in their time zone. Things are changing. I'm representing all that clone army that are no longer around anymore. He also
Mhm.
says it was a wonderful opportunity to pop in there and see what they're doing across the room from where we were. He added, that came in handy. It worked out quite good to make a little cameo. I enjoyed working with Ewan again, going back to Attack of the Clones. We did all that. He puts on the clone character voice. Hey, you came to see me in this army and all that stuff. It was a wonderful time. So, apologies, spoiler. If you haven't seen Obi-Wan, yeah, I mean, it's,
It's not a big spoiler. That's good though.
yeah, it's, it's short and sweet and appreciated.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that man has so much job security when it comes to Star Wars now.
Oh, yeah, yeah, definitely.
It's like, but I mean, it's a fun thing they're actually selling with that, and I think that's the story they'll probably keep touching on as you continue forward.
Right. Yeah. And I like that kind of stuff. Just seeing, it's just the aftermath of what's
Mhm.
happened.
Yeah,
It was really powerful, and yeah, just little things like that I definitely appreciate.
yeah. What has happened to the clones? That's the question we want to
Yeah.
see. Where do they go? What becomes them? You find
Hmm.
out a little about that in Bad Batch, and also
Mm.
in some of the other stories. Rebels touches on it, where you actually get some of them back, and
Hmm.
hey, I'm all down for
We
that.
did watch a little bit of Rebels. I wasn't paying too much attention, so I need to revisit that.
Mm.
And I
You
haven't
needed
watched.
to look at it again. It's
Yeah,
good.
I haven't watched Bad Batch. I would have
Oh
looked at
man,
that. Is it fun?
Star Wars Dirty Dozen. I love it.
Yeah. Let's check that
My
out.
brother-in-law really liked it too. I haven't seen it yet,
Hmm.
but he has been trying to convince my husband and I to watch The Bad Batch for a long time now.
It's worth it. I mean, it's one of the few things, and I hate to say it like this because I'm very much. We've talked about this before, Luke, but I'm very much the type of fan for Star Wars.
Hmm.
As long as you're giving me more content, I'll forgive a lot.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Because like I just want the universe to expand because
Yeah.
for years I had 3 movies and comic books. That's it.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, but now I feel like kind of like with DC in a sense, their animated work is a lot better than some of the other stuff.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, I know, bud.
Yeah. All right. A few more of other news outside of Marvel Disney. Mad Max
Hmm.
Fury Road spinoff.
Hell yes.
Furiosa gets official synopsis. Are we excited? Thoughts on Fury Road? And so, as the world fell, uh, is it Furiosa? I need to make sure I'm saying here.
Yeah,
It's been a
Furiosa.
minute. Been a minute since I've watched Fury Road, but I do enjoy that film. As the world fell, young Furiosa is snatched from the green place of many mothers and falls into the hands of a great biker horde led by the warlord Dementus. Dementus.
Dementus.
Dementus. It reads, sweeping through the wasteland, they come across the citadel presided over the immortal Joe. While the two tyrants war for dominance, Furiosa must survive many trials as she puts together the means to find her way home. Interesting. I I'm down. I would watch it for sure.
They better not punk out and do CGI. I'm just saying, if Fury Road did all like real special effects, it's like, oh, you better do the same thing now. That's
Yeah.
a precedent that's just looked amazing.
Hmm.
Just
Yeah.
like you actually, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I don't know. You go ahead. I was just saying, yeah, I liked that they did all that stuff without CGI.
Oh yeah, man. Like it's like the fact is like, so you made a real giant truck with speakers and a dude with a guitar with flamethrowers on it. Yeah, we did. That's the most metal thing I've ever seen. Carry on.
Yeah.
Australia.
Oh my god, I know, right? It just I was like, that's not even the apocalypse. That's Australia right now.
They just like go 2 miles outside Sydney and it's like that.
Oh my goodness. Um.
And as far as my thoughts on Fury Road, I thought it looked great. I thought it was very well done. I only saw it the once in the theater because I was just kind of like,
Okay.
I know. It was like, again, I thought all the parts of it were good. It was just this like unrelenting chaos that I don't know, just there wasn't some kind of connection there for me. I
Hmm.
appreciated it more than I liked it. Also, come to think of
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
George Miller and Boz Lerman are very much two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
They kind of are, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, just one is Sparkles and the other one is Apocalypse,
And I
and
do.
both
I
Australian.
love my
That's
apocalypse.
important. They're
Yeah,
both
they're both
Australian.
Australian, aren't they? It's like, and I love me some apocalypse. So I'm like, yeah. It's like, make me feel better about the apocalypse because it ain't gonna look like that.
Mm-mm. We're not gonna get to wear cool clothes. No one's getting
Right.
a flamethrowing
It's like,
guitar.
what do you mean I don't get to wear leather all the time? That's ridiculous.
What a ripoff!
It's like I don't get a dog. Wow.
Yeah. Fury Road is one I need to purchase on 4K for sure.
Yeah.
That was an amazing theater experience. I just remember like just coming home and still like just being amazed at that. And I think I can't remember what year that came out, but I'm pretty sure that was like my film of the year.
2014.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna double check real fast. Y'all keep
Um,
going.
so the spinoff is set to release on May 24th, 2024. So got a ways, but I would agree. Like, if you're gonna do this, do it right. Let's not CGI it and invest in kind of getting that same experience from Fury Road. Green Hornet and Kato reboot finds director in The Invisible Man's Lay. Probably gonna mispronounce this. Wannell.
Like, yeah, it
Um,
does.
so, are we excited for this? Who asked for this film? Did anyone watch the Seth Rogen version? Uh, I watched maybe the
2015
first
on Mad Max.
20 minutes and then I think fell asleep.
I mean, the unfortunate thing about the Green Hornet remake is that it got passed around so much that I got changed up because Kevin Smith was tagged at some point to actually shoot that movie, and he was going to shoot it as a very serious comic book movie,
Mm,
which I would have been totally down for. I was like, because I've read his comics that he wrote about the Green Hornet, and it's a solid comic run. So, I mean, I don't know what happened with that original one. It just kind of bounced around to finally somebody gave it, it turned into what it was, and it was
yeah.
fine. It was fun. It's forgettable, unfortunately. I hate
Mm,
to say that, but here we are. But I'm down. I think they can totally do a remake, and especially with that director. I mean,
mm-hmm,
I'm kind of mad they're not doing the Universal Dark Universe anymore.
mm,
Because once I saw Invisible Man and sort of that modern remake and twist on the Invisible Man story, I was like, that is well done, and it's totally viable in this day and age. It's like
mm,
that's a good way to do that. My wife loves horror movies, and she got freaked out about that. She said because we had two different cars when we went to see it,
mm-hmm.
so she was driving back home, and suddenly a bottle moved in her back seat, and she goes, "Oh my God, he's here!" So I mean, yeah, I would love to see him take on this character
Mm,
and characters, I should say,
yeah.
and let him really give it a good, serious look. Because at the same time, and I know I'm going through all the nerdy history, y'all bear with me. I'm sorry. When you had Batman 66, you also had Green Hornet.
Mm,
All right. And whereas Batman 66 was so quirky and fun and it had this, special guest of the week and all that other nonsense, Green Hornet kind of had that too. But it was very much taking itself as like, this is a serious,
mm,
crime fighting thing. And look at Kato. Look how he spins and kicks.
mm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I'm for it. I really want to see this, and I think it can be done extremely, extremely well.
I've never seen any comic books or the original, so I don't know enough about them
Yeah.
to make an assessment of the situation. I'm open to seeing it, especially if it comes out and everybody's like, "Oh, it was really good. This is a good introduction
Yeah,
to the character." I'd be all over it, but
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what I'm
Yeah.
here for. The random backstories.
Right. That's what we need you for. Because I don't know enough about this character.
Oh yeah.
This was a movie, I think, this is before getting married. We probably did a
Mm.
Redbox rental. Or, unless Hastings was still around at the time, I can't remember. Something like
Oh my
that.
gosh, Hastings. Yeah.
This could have been back in that day. I can't remember when this one came out. I remember I was excited to see it. I didn't see it in
Hmm.
theater. Waited for it to come out to rented it. Started watching it and just kind of dozed off. It just wasn't keeping my interest, and I never went back to revisit it.
Yeah,
So
you're not missing
maybe
anything.
maybe I will. I mean, yeah, like from yeah, I'm sure it's gonna watch it, forget it, but I don't know. Maybe if anyone picks it up to stream, like I'll check it out.
There you
So
go. I mean, Seth Rogen, that was the height of his powers, so he's kind of
yeah,
like waned a little bit.
yeah. I know he's. I will say with the in terms of Rogan, I'm excited to see it. I believe he's working on a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, so I'm definitely
He is, and
excited
I think he
to.
could sell that really well.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think he
I'm
could as
excited about
well.
that.
Yeah, um, just definitely don't go in the direction of the boys. Let's not go that wild.
That was a fun cameo. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So let us know in the comments. Do you remember seeing the Green Hornet, and what are your thoughts on bringing this character back? So we'll wrap this up with some Blu-ray releases. So we have new releases on 4K. We got Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore, the Best Buy Steelbooks
Mhm.
coming out. tomorrow, as well as The Bad Guys. Haven't seen either
Yeah,
of those. Actually, I'm really behind on Fantastic Beasts. I never watched the second one, so I do need to go back and revisit those.
it's okay.
Yeah, I've heard they're fine. But I'm a
Yeah,
fan of just like the whole Harry Potter universe, so I want to check them out.
expands the world. I'm for that.
Yep. And then re-releases Out of Sight, Killer's Kiss, True Romance, which is coming out as a steelbook and limited edition, and then Out of
Hmm.
Order. I don't think I'm familiar with any of these. Um, but
There's
I
probably a
did,
reason for that.
yeah, I did finally pick up my first steelbook. I'll go ahead and throw this out there. I went ahead
Oh,
and
you're gonna do that? Yeah.
yep, I got
You
the
watching
Batman.
Donovan? Look, Donovan. Wait, it's
Oh,
over there.
yeah,
There it
it's over
is.
there. I told him. He was like, "What? Your first?" I was like, "Yeah, I stopped collecting physical media a while ago, but then getting back into it." So
That's a clean one though. That's a
yeah,
really good
this
steelbook
one's
too. I like
yeah.
that whole entire image.
Oh yeah, super clean. So definitely want to pick up some more. Well, that's it for the show. Man, we did great on time. Like,
We did.
Ooh.
One more comment before continue. I'm
yeah,
double
go for
checking
it.
back on you, sir, and I would love to hear if you've seen it also. Have you watched Werewolves Within yet?
Not yet.
What
Not
is
yet.
that?
It's on Stars. It's based upon a video game. Hear me out. The writing for this show is absolutely incredible and it's extremely hilarious. It's a horror comedy all about this small town in the middle of nowhere that suddenly has a werewolf problem and they don't realize it's a werewolf, but it's killing everybody, right? So it's them going back and forth, blaming each other, trying to figure out exactly what's going on. But it is so well done, so hilarious that I'm just like, this is nobody has even heard about this. This is amazing. So I've been telling them, it's like, go watch Werewolves Within. You're going to come back to me as soon as you see it, and you'd be like, you were right. That show was hilarious.
Not watched it yet. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm
I
letting you
know
down.
you've been busy, you've been
I
moving,
know.
you've had
I know.
family and stuff. I
Yeah.
get it.
I'll try to check it out as soon as I can.
I was excited. I actually went and saw Black Phone this weekend, so I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure I can find an evening this week and check it out.
There you go.
Yeah. So, yeah, just go ahead and feel free to let us know where we can find what you're working on. Elisa, let's start with you as being the guest.
Hmm.
Oh, well, you can hear me and Luke and Drew every week on Agents of Mace, on
Yes.
basically every podcast platform where we cover the newest stuff in the MCU. Is that all I have to promote? Yes, it is. And so that is it.
Right.
Joe.
And of course, you can find me and my family on our YouTube channel, Institutionalized, or you can just go to YouTube/The Only Joel, where you will find that. It is our show about doing all kinds of fun things for your families in the state of Arkansas and sometimes surrounding areas. We have been taking a little bit of hiatus, but I do have about 4 videos canned that I just got to edit together. So probably in this next month, we'll start shooting them out every 2 weeks. So check it out.
I really like that handle. That's like the best
The Only
handle.
Joel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like back in the beginning days of of YouTube when I was actually deciding to myself, I'm gonna make all these YouTube shorts and stuff like that. But then I got wrapped up actually working in the business and all that.
Yeah.
And I told myself I should have stuck with it because I could have I could have already established something. But then it evolved. Once we evolved and decided we're gonna do this show, I just sort of changed everything up and put that as our main base.
Gotcha.
It's such a cool idea.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah,
I think it's a way to kind of showcase, for people, especially families. Like, and of course,
definitely.
my kid was telling me he does his own thing now, but he totally says, "It's like, how come we don't have many subscribers?" It's like, well, I'm not working very hard at pushing it. I'll tell you that right now. But it's there.
Yeah, we'll talk offline. There's an old previous segment. I think Channel 4 used to do that was really cool. It feels like your channel's kind of doing what they were doing in a sense. But
Pretty
we
much.
we can talk about that offline.
Totally so.
Yeah. Uh, Definitely find me on YouTube as well. Just Luke Irvin, just my name, where I review films. And then you can catch me
Hmm.
on Agents of Mace, where we're talking about all things Marvel. And as always, subscribe to
Yes.
241, Podcast 241, where they're covering all things Marvel as well as DC and other entertainment-based news. Thanks again for joining. Thanks so
Oh,
much,
oh, oh, crap.
everyone. Go for it.
Sponsored by Kapow Comics.
Yes.
Kapow!
Kapow. Kapow.
There you go,
Basically,
Donovan. I made
Kapow.
sure we put our sponsor in.
Donovan will give me that information for sure. But thank you so much, Kapow, for being supporting this channel, supporting everyone and what we're doing. Everyone go check out
Absolutely.
Kapow. We'll link it below. We'll see y'all hopefully next Monday. Thanks so much
Here's
for
hoping.
joining. Until next
Peace.
time.